We're back with the next week of the Off the Court Podcast, episode 2. We got one of the top prospects in the state of Arizona. He is ranked at number 16, according to 24/7 Sports in the state of Arizona. We got Ring Nyeri. He comes out of Liberty High School in Peoria, Arizona. Appreciate you coming on, man, and chopping it up with me. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm chilling. I had a 5:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. workday yesterday, so I got to sleep in, and I've been chilling. But um, you've been having a very productive summer. You took a different route. You probably could have went and played on the circuits, but you decided to play.
Yeah,
Um, I'm blanking on your guys' team name for your club. What was it again?
it's called a factory.
The factory. Okay. So before we get into kind of last season and how you guys did, what's it been like for you production wise being able to play with factory and the rest of the guys on that squad?
Like production wise, like scoring and everything.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been like I'm in a different role from I was like last year. Cause like the years before, like when I played AAU, I was just mostly like a role player, just like was a defensive player, just got rebounds, got blocks, kicked the ball out. But this year, since like everybody on my team left on Liberty, so I had to take up a bigger role. So then when I was at factory, I just decided like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to be the man. So I've been trying to just go at it on both sides, become a two-way player.
So yeah, you talk about Liberty. Let's get right into it. 22-7 on the year. But like I was looking at the roster last night, very senior heavy team. I think there was like you and one other kid that could be quote unquote underclassmen on the team that will be coming back, but completely new team this upcoming season, which we'll get into. What were
Yeah.
some things you took away from last season, being able to learn from Kai and Caden? But yeah, what were some takeaways from your junior year?
I just like they just taught me a lot. Like Kaden, he was like really like the vocal leader of the team. Like everybody on the team respected him, so that made me want to like learn about leadership. So now this year, I'm trying to like make leadership a big role in my game right now. Try to lead a team no matter what. And then God, he just always just has a really funny personality. Like always has like high hopes, like just making everybody laugh. So like I have a mixture of both. Like I want to be like a leader and be serious, but also like have like a fun personality at the same time.
So yeah, you guys talked about last season. I was looking at the schedule too. Um, Let me get it up again. You guys ended up losing a tough game, which it seemed very tight against Perry in that state
Yeah.
playoff game until the second half, and then they kind of took it from there. 79-60 was the final score. When you think back to that game, what went wrong for you guys, and what did you learn to be able to, use the experience you had, especially in that game, going up against a lot of top talent to build off of for this upcoming year?
We learned from that game that like we can't take our foot off the pedal because I believe both times that we played Perry, at halftime we were up by at least like 10 points both times. So that just like showed us that oh yeah, we always have to have our throat on their necks so we can win games. Like we can't even if our team is that good, there's always a team that could beat us. And Perry was a really good team and they beat us twice, obviously. So it just taught us like how to like just lock in and stay focused the whole game.
You averaged um last season 10 points, 5 rebounds, or what is it? What is it saying? That's mad weird. It has your 10 points. Oh, so here we go. Sorry. 10 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, and a steal and 2 blocks a game. I watched a highlight tape of you last night. It was like 2 minutes long on YouTube. Um, you're just an absolute freak when you when you get close to that rim, and you like to spend a lot of time. It seems like above the rim, dunking on a lot of
Yeah.
people. Um, what were some highlights for you last season? Being able to catch those lobs from Davis, be able to go on the fast break. It seemed like when you guys were able to get those quick defensive rebounds or steals, you guys were running and gunning coast to coast. What type of things has Mark Woods instilled in this new and improved roster for this upcoming season to make sure that type of coast to coast run and gun offense continues, especially with a player like you on that team?
So last year, my favorite moment was like from like being above the rim was that Millennium game because we went on like a 20, I don't know, it was like a 20-point run in like the third quarter. And like we ended the quarter off with like a lob to me at the end. I just boomed it. Crowd went crazy. And then Coach Wood, like he always like emphasized like pushing the ball up. We had an assistant coach that told us, oh yeah, we have to go warp speed every time we get a rebound, push it, go, get to our spots. So the same thing is going to be implemented this year, but this year I'll be able to take the ball, like just get a rebound and take it myself, go coast to coast. Cause I feel like I have a very high motor and then I can just outrun every team. Like I'll keep on running no matter what. I don't get the ball, I'm gonna run back on defense, get a stop, take it back on the offensive board. So I'm gonna just keep on running. So he just wants to emphasize just getting the ball up and keep shooting threes and then rebounding.
So Liberty, of course, is in one of the toughest divisions in the state, and honestly, I think the toughest region too in the state with Sunny Slope Boulder.
Yeah,
I know you guys play Sunrise Mountain. I know you guys play a lot, but I know those two teams, especially in your region, one of the hardest, two of the toughest teams in the league. I know Sunny Slope went to the state championship last year. What did playing against
mm,
those top talent teams do for you last year to help build your confidence? I know, did you suffer? I think you suffered from an injury too last year. So getting back
yeah.
from that, but what did playing against teams like Sunny Slope, like Boulder, like Pinnacle, like Perry do for you last year?
It just like showed us like the difference that we had to play. Like, so like we would play like other teams since our team was like really stacked. Like we can go in coast mode and still win by probably 10 points. But when we played like other teams, top teams like Perry, Sunny Slope, Pinnacle, we always had to like have our foot on the gas. Like we couldn't slow down not once because when we slowed down, the other team would take advantage of that and then get back into the game. Because we would always go up against the team. But I don't think last year except in our losses, we never went down to a team and then worked our way back up.
Mm.
So we were always up in the game. So I feel it just shows us like if we let them back in the game, it's just really hard for us to get back into it. So we just always have to be on go mode and stay locked in.
Let's head to this summer though. You have had one of the most productive summers, it seems like, out of some of the main talent, at least in the AIA, regarding what you've done in AAU with Factory and then the showcases you've been in.
Mhm.
What was the mindset for you, or what was the mindset you wanted to have going into your last AAU season and now going into your senior year?
I just wanted like to show everybody what I can do because last year I feel like I was a little underrated on my team because I was like one of the youngest people on my team. Everybody was a senior. So all the focus was on them. So I just wanted to show that, oh yeah, I can make a difference too. Not like count my teams out. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to start to underestimate Liberty because we've lost 9 seniors, 7 seniors. Then everybody on our roster now is like from JV. So I just went into the summer thinking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna force my team to get better at my level. I'm gonna always bring up the level. I'm never gonna sit down. So I just try to go with a motor every game I play.
What's the summer practice been like with Coach Wood? I went to Liberty my freshman through junior year. So I didn't make the basketball team. I'm just gonna tell you. So if you ask Coach Wood if I played basketball, I didn't. But,
Did
but
you go to tryouts?
yeah, I did, and I didn't make my freshman
Did you
team.
do
So
D Day?
shout out to whoever
Mm,
that freshman coach was. I don't think he's there anymore. But
no, no.
but for you though, what is the summer training been like? I know they go hard, at least in the summer portion of it. So especially with the guys mostly come from JV. I don't know if you've added any transfers into from other schools out of state or no, but um, what has the summer training been like? Has it been hard for you guys, and what kind of takeaways have you had from that?
Yeah, it has been hard because like we have to get everything together. We got to put in a new type of system, I guess, because of our new players. So people have to relearn stuff from last year. So we've been like emphasizing it, and then we've been like really heavy on defense since our team is very undersized right now.
Mm.
Like we've been doing defensive drills for the majority of practice, and then doing offense. It's just straight running up and down the court, just not letting the ball drop on it when it goes in, and getting it out quick as like as possibly it can be. So it's been really hard. And then when we had game days, like, we played at Central almost every week. We would have a practice before we would go to Central. So we can be right for the games. And we had two games every day, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we had two games. So we'd have a practice on that Thursday. We had a practice on our Friday before our games.
That's intense. Um,
Hmm.
with that though, and it seems like a lot of the work you've put in, you did get invited to the Pangos All-American Camp. I was able to watch you. Um, I think it was back in June or May at Eastmark when you guys went up against Soldiers. Um,
Yeah.
and the intensity you play with, the hustle you play with, there was a handful of coaches sitting course right there, and I'm just like, I don't know how you don't at least go talk to this kid after with how much heart he plays on the court. You were getting like you're talking about aggressive on the defense end. How much has defense played a part in your growth this summer to be able to show people that, I shouldn't be underrated. I should be looked at as one of the best in the state.
So defense, like, so for coaches, college coaches always wonder, oh yeah, what positions you can guard. So if you can show them that you can guard at a high level, contest shots, dive for balls, just sit, like when you get switched onto a point guard, can I sit and stay in front of them? That plays like a big part. And then also defense leads to offense. If you get a defensive block, you take it to the other side, your team's gonna have full energy, then offense should just naturally flow. Like
Mm-hmm.
offense should come naturally, and you should use like all your effort on defense. So I've been like trying to implement that mindset into my game.
But like I was saying, you were invited to Pangos All-American Camp, as well as their Premier 80 camp this summer as well.
Mhm.
What were the feelings you had after getting invited about being able to say people are finally starting to take notice of the work you're putting in?
It made me really happy because like I've always had like a dream of going to the Pangos All-American Camp since I was like a freshman. Ever since I heard about it, I'm like, oh, I wrote it down in a notebook. Oh, I want to be invited to this camp. And then it finally came true, so I was really happy about it. And then I went into it like with an attitude. I'm gonna just show people how hard I play. Because if you play hard, it's a skill to play hard. Not everybody can play hard. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really
What was some of the experiences you had at it? I'm sure I saw a couple of pictures at it. Tons of players from around the country. It seemed like not just the West Coast are represented there. What were some of the goals you had going into it to make sure you stand out amongst the crowd?
um like experience I had. It's just like how all like there's like a lot of five stars, a lot of top players, and it just showed like how much work you have to put in to be at that level and how you have to be really consistent. And then I went into that mindset to like stand out by showing my motor, playing both sides, getting dunks, trying to show threes, show a little bit of ball handling, so coaches know I can do a little bit of everything.
Mm.
So that's how you can stand out.
The aggressiveness and athleticism you play with, I think, is why you have been turning a lot of heads this summer. With the way you're able to be the main ball handler, it seems like for Liberty going coast to coast. Your improved post game too. It seems like you've put a lot of work into. If people are finding out about you for the first time right now, what are three words you would describe your play style as?
Three words, motor. Like I don't even know. It's just like hard work. Like I'm just running. Whatever words describe playing hard. That's what it is.
You played really well at Section 7 too. I didn't get a media pass. So I didn't go. So I
Mm-hmm.
paid for the ticket and then I ended up getting a new job, so I was able to not go. But there's a play
Mm-hmm.
I saw that you posted, I think with timeout, um, grabbing the defensive board and getting to the rim. It seemed like you were just dunking absolutely everything. And absolutely no one can stop you. What were some lessons you learned from that? What were some stuff that you saw other teams do that you try to implement in your guys' game now? And what was just your overall thoughts on how Section 7 went for you and the rest of the guys?
I was sick the whole section seven, so I threw up every single game because I was supposed to be in a dunk contest. I was supposed to be on the dunk contest that Thursday, but then
Yeah.
I woke up that morning. I was just throwing up all day. I had like a stomach bug, so I couldn't participate in the dunk contest. So then I came in on Friday, took an IV, and then I played pretty well in front of coaches. I was throwing up, getting dunks and everything. But like the experience I learned was like you have to dunk everything, to be honest. So like even though I was sick, it showed coaches, oh yeah, he can play through it. Because I threw up on the court, like I threw up on my jersey in that first game, and then just walked off the court like in the middle of the play, and then I just came back a minute later, drank some water, and came back on the court.
That was your flu game?
Yeah, the whole weekend was a flu game. I was throwing up every game.
How are you? Honestly, I'm gonna put this clip. This will be my clip because,
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, this is gonna show coaches that you were able to persevere for pretty much the stomach flu and still show
Mhm.
out. I mean, I'm sure if you weren't sick, you would have showed out even more.
Yeah.
But back in May, though, you did get the offer from Portland State. Portland State, sorry.
Mhm.
They offered you a scholarship to play basketball in the Pacific Northwest. Besides them, how has your recruiting gone this summer, especially with the improvements you've made in your game?
It's been going up. I've been hearing from a lot of schools recently. I've been talking to NAU for like a month now. They see me play a couple times. They're gonna come to my school for a visit for a little bit sometime in September. And then I've been talking to LSU, UCF, Iona University, a couple D2s, some D3s, but those are mainly right now.
When you're able to get conversations going like that, did you ever think basketball would take you to these type of places and being able to hear from schools and coaches all over the country?
I always believed in myself, like, oh yeah, I can make it to the next level. Like that was like always a dream of mine. But like now that it's like mostly coming true, college coaches are calling me. It's just like it doesn't seem real, but like it's also like real at the same time. Like I don't try to get like focused too much on it. So I get the phone call, just all like calm and excited, but inside I'm like super excited. So I just got to keep that same persona the whole time.
Um, we're very far away from the regular season, so I'll wait to ask this question till the end. But if there's anybody you could thank in your development for especially this summer, who are some people that have worked closely with you that have helped you become the player you are right now?
I'll say my coach at Factory, Coach Kenny Mullins, he's been helping me a lot. Then Coach Wood, and then our new coach at Liberty, Coach Q. He played at Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
They've been helping me a lot. Like they've been opening the gym for me to go in, get some shots up at Liberty. And then Coach Kenny just like has always been there since like my freshman year. He found me freshman year. I've been with him since. Like he just really helped me develop my skill, ball handling, and shooting. So I just want to thank them.
There's when I first saw you play back in like December I remember it was against Willow Canyon and I remember it being not close. So
Yeah.
um so I got the guy right there that you remind me of a bit, as well as a new Phoenix Sun and Bull Bull. What
Yeah.
other people or what have people been saying to you? What type of players they were? What type of player you remind them of, and who do you try to mend your gameplay off of?
Um, a lot of people do say KD, Bobo, obviously, but and a little bit like I try to play like Paul George. Paul George is just like a smooth 6'8" player, or like a Brandon Ingram.
Mm,
But I've also heard people say that I'm like a Taylor Hendrick, Taylor, not that just got drafted.
yeah, Taylor
Forgot.
Hendricks.
Yeah, Taylor Hendricks. Yeah, some people have said that as well. So I, but I try to model my game after like KD, Brandon Ingram, and Paul George, basically.
You definitely got the size for it. You're like what 6'8", 6'9" now, I would assume.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then your skill set, it just seems like you're continuing to make improvements in your ball handling, your shooting. But before we get out of here, I got two last questions for you. I know the season is very far away.
Mhm.
But what can we expect to see out of you this upcoming year?
Um, I'm gonna just try to play hard every game, just show people like what they didn't see last year, improve my numbers, improve rebounding, assists, like people can see I'm a do it all type of player.
Well, Ring, I appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me. How we end every show, I've had a lot of
Mhm.
people on this. I said Dwayne Russell on from former GCU guy, now one of the top scorers in Germany. What is your favorite on-court shoe? I've heard the GT cuts. Dwayne wants the new KD 16s. There's a lot of different types of shoes that people wear, but what is your go-to shoe been this summer, and what do you hope to be or plan on wearing in the upcoming year with Liberty?
My go-to shoe this summer was the Kobe 5s, but I really like the KD 13s. KD 13s were like perfect to my feet, like almost like just straight up perfect. Like every time I stepped, it just felt like a cloud. So I really like those shoes.
Well, Ring, I appreciate you coming on. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
I just shout out like everybody that's been supporting me throughout my whole journey. That's basically it, yeah.
Well, man, I cannot wait to see you play this upcoming senior year. Wishing nothing but the best. And yeah, thank you guys for listening to this episode. This is episode 2 of the Off the Court Podcast.
Sir.